Greetings, everyone, and welcome once more to the Dracovin Empire. Are you ready to dive back into the world of Golarion today? If you are, the world of the Pathfinder role-playing game system. If you are, I am your host and guide, Terrence Dracovin, and I can open up a gateway through the universe, through time and space, going from our Earth to Golarion to take you there. Please do remember to give me a little tip before we travel, like subscribing the bell over the YouTube side of things, and let me know what you think about today's topic. Murraseth. You are ready to travel. Leave out my hand. I will guide us through this gate to Golarion once more, to southern Garund and Murraseth. Together, we travel. We've arrived! The city-state of Murraseth. Not quite part of a nation, but in a lot of ways they are, as they are so closely tied to their sister city-states. Yes, they're all independent, but they are also united in life. And Murraseth is, in a way, at their center. But if I would look into Murraseth more and know about it and its people, the catfolk, I'm always bad about the amurruns. What sources would I kind of dive into this deeper? There are two books that I could recommend. From the Extinction Curse, Legacy of the Lost Gods deals with the catfolk of Golarion. And the Ancestry Guide does mention Murraseth and give some basic information about it. But you're really, unfortunately, most sources we have for Murraseth deal with the catfolk. So I'm going to be coming at this as a direction that I'm going to be telling you about the city-state itself and not the people as much. Because this is a city-state of amurruns, of catfolk. Amurruns. They're deeply tied to it. So, yes, if we go to Murraseth, which we don't really have images of, it is a catfolk city-state. It's located in southern Garund. It is the largest settlement of amurruns on Golarion. And there is evidence that the amurruns have that the location of Murraseth is on their original ancestral homelands that existed long before Earthfall. They are a city-state unto themselves, so their city is a capital. They do have some controlled territory, but they have a council of elect that rules over them completely. The current head of that council is Cassiel of the Five Tribes. We'll talk about that. But that's giving you a general information on Murraseth. We really have to dive into catfolk, amurrun history, and Murraseth's history to kind of understand things a lot. So let's talk about the history. Let's go over the details of it, discuss it, let's learn about it. So, amurrun legend tells that there were once great cats, guardians, the mighty crater spirits, tasked with hunting down lingering threats in Golarion. Given intelligence, they became the first amurruns. They are amurruns. Murraseth history dates back to this ancestral city-state in southern Garund from the Age of Legends. Now, the government that's been in charge of Murraseth has changed, it's been reformed, it's been overthrown several times, it's long history, but there has been this kind of responsibility of keeping the secrets of their people from the world. And their greatest of their secrets, the reason why Murraseth is a little more secluded, a little secret, is the original civilization where Murraseth is built upon. The common citizens really don't know the details, but the city, they're the Pride Killers. A government-sponsored spy network and researchers that basically serve the safety of the realm and the government. Effectively, Murraseth was the precursor was another catfolk nation. But what happened to this amurrun nation? No one knows. Its history, its information, have been scrubbed by the records. Completely removed. Progenitor was doomed, and it came before Earthfall. Many that were driven from those lands came to serve the agents in the Valshini jungle. Basically, from this nation in southern Garund, amurruns spread to the world when whatever happened to have it fall drove them from it. Something terrible happened. Something bad. The civilization fell. And again, this is before Earthfall. This is ancient days. And that's why we have amurrun across the globe now, in various ways where they've adapted and changed the various locations. Age of Darkness, post-Earthfall, was a blessing to amurruns. They rebuilt their nation and renamed it Murraseth under a series of sister queens. They basically wanted to avoid repeating the downfall of their past by destroying the records of this schism and declaring a refugee at the Hardened Lands, forbidden to all but the royal family and chosen mystics. Their dark secret, hidden away. Basically, all of the records gone. They didn't completely forget about it. They basically destroyed everything but, like, one thing that only very few people could learn about. By the time we did Age of Destiny, the Murraseth and other catfolk tribes allied with the Short, and the Dahiri against the demons and spawn of Robotar. It was a time of conflict, and the old government of the Sister Queens stepped down after there was a lot of anger at them, and their detachment from common treads. And it took a number of governments to rise and fall during this time period, and various groups of amurruns migrating to Alboria, Arcadia, traveling across the world. But eventually, what is now the Council of Elect that we know about was formed during the Age of Enthronement. And now we reach the Age of Lost Omens, and yeah, amurrun have spread through much of the world. They're doing a lot of their jobs in places, helping with various things. Valiant warriors assisting with things like Sarkonis and the World Root, leading to the Sarkonis Scar. In Kyonin, dealing with the Tanglebrot, the Tree Razor. So yeah, Murraseth has, post this tumultuous history, exists. Now, this map here doesn't show Murraseth. It doesn't show it. It doesn't show its sister cities. Why? We don't know where it's at. Now, the nation that's right there, Holomon, we kinda know its borders. Those aren't perfect borders. It's general borders. It's from information. I took a picture of the map from the wiki site. If you go to the Pathfinder wiki, you can find on there a kind of globe where you can kind of look where maps are and information. As you can see, there's dark lines up top where we know exactly where a thing is. But the northern part of Holomon is the city of Anuli. And we know that Murraseth is near Anuli. So, generally speaking, kind of up there in that top corner of Holomog, in that area, somewhere to the west of there, Murraseth. Now, Murraseth is technically a single city-state. But, from the outside, most people believe it is part of a network of city-states that form a nation, and it's the capital. It isn't really. There are 3 other city-states very close by to them, and deeply tied to them. Frauaseth, Ersuruan, and Ulamesel. Basically, they're all deep and powerful allies. We know even less about the other 3 city-states, other than they are kind of this united allyship with Murraseth. And it's because, like, they are still independent. They all have their own councils of elect. You know, they still are deep, powerful allies with each other and would work together with a lot of things. So though they're not truly a singular nation, you know, it's in that kind of point in time where these 4 really deeply allied city-states probably only takes one kind of push to make them a single nation. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that something could happen within their politics or something that could evolve them from 4 independent city-states to a nation along those lines, probably with Murraseth at its capital. But it hasn't taken those steps yet. So again, we know some things about it. We know some basic details about the city. There are a lot of details that we unfortunately don't know. Now, the city itself, we know a little bit about its description. It's a massive timber bulwark surrounded by a city proper. The buildings within the walls are made of ancient carved stone. That's kind of a basic description of how this is. Alright, let's talk about who's in charge. Because Murraseth and its city-states are basically controlled over by a Council of Elect. This consists of skilled adventurers, spellcasters, and diplomats that bring unique insights to bear. Urgent matters and arbitrations of inter-council disputes fall under the purview of the current voice of the council. The current one for Murraseth is Cassiel the Five Trials, who's a retired adventurer who have slain 5 mighty fiends, each on a different continent. So Cassiel went to 5 different continents, slayed a fiend in each of those, came back home, and was basically elected the head of the council. So again, if there's a deadlock in the council or an urgent matter, they make a decision. But otherwise, the council deliberates on things and makes decisions there in Murraseth. So it is an elected council, but you kind of have to have an interesting story to be elected. It's not just any person. You have to be an adventurer, you have to be a diplomat, you have to be, a spellcaster. Someone that's kind of got good opinions and good information to share with the class, so to say. Something impressive about you. I think the council will select you. Alright. Let's talk about the people of, changed it? There we go. Let's talk about the inhabitants of Murraseth. Now again, we know some basics about Murraseth, and this is stuff that we've learned. Guilds are an important part of the society of Murraseth. The Circle of Life Shapers being the most top guild amongst them all. The Circle of Life Shapers, one that has a blend of healing arts and polymorphic magic into a unique new form. So, yeah, develop a new form of magic in another. It's also home to the House of Names, unique labyrinthine structures that function as living galleries for artists and storytellers. They recount their great stories, discoveries, and triumphs of catfolk. So special art houses that are a unique type of building within Murraseth. It is a cultural center for Murraseth, for amurrun culture, though, too. It's home to the largest population. Its major ethnicity is I'm going to try not to butcher all of them, though it does have many of the ethnicities there. Sethurial are the ones that are most populous. And among many amurruns, they consider the Sethurial cultural to be basically synonymous with their basic culture as a whole, and it includes their rites of worship destiny. So the Sethurial are basically the most common. They have kind of the most basic culture of the catfolk, and since they are the most populous in Murraseth, they're kind of represented the best there. It doesn't mean there aren't others and subcultures and other sub-ethnicities within the catfolk society, but we can kind of trace back to this specific ethnicity as the main one that is appearing here. And that, I believe, because I've used the picture from the Ancestry Guide, is supposed to be Sethurial from their description and the culture. But, yeah. There you go. There's Murraseth. Is there a lot of information about this place? Yes and no. From the sources that we have and what I've been able to look into and read into, there is some information. We have a good picture of Murraseth. We have very little picture of we have even less picture of their sister city-states. We know their names. We know they've got a council of elect too. But other than that, we know basically nothing about them. We don't even know where they are exactly on the map. And this is one of the reasons I feel like Southern Garund really needs a book about it. But these are interesting places. Palama, Murraseth, other various nations in this region that we know about, maybe we don't have on a map the same way. They're fascinating. And the fact that this place is built on the site of an ancient catfolk civilization, perhaps the first in the world, that fell long before Earthfall and caused them to scatter the initial time to the various continents and places across the world, is so fascinating. It has such a deep history, and the fact that whatever happened to have it fall is so secretive, so dangerous, so bad, they keep that hidden. And they keep people away, and they generally keep isolationist. If you're an amurrun, sure, you're welcome. If you're not, it might not be. It's not a place for you. This is the kind of outsiders not necessarily welcome because of this. They don't welcome visitors to their nation. Doesn't mean you couldn't arrange it. There could be reasons behind it. But these secrets must hold. These secrets are important. What they are well, you may never know. Or we make an adventure path about, or a single adventure about the story, about whatever the hell the secret is, and it'd be very interesting and pulled in a way, and, you know, something like that. We get lots of adventure paths about a lot of things. Or, hey, maybe we'll reveal some of those secrets if we get a Southern Garund book. I don't know. There's a lot to say. And maybe there's a day where I will revisit Murraseth, even more information, better pictures, updates. At least for now, I hope you've enjoyed learning about this really interesting place that is both deeply rooted in amurrun, catfolk culture, but in a way, still a little bit of its own thing, too. And I think that's where it makes it interesting, where these ancestral homes of places are still, yes, deeply tied to these ancestries. A little bit of their own thing, too. And I always enjoy it. Alright. Will do it. And I do hope you enjoyed me today. Please check out all my other stuff, whether it's over live on Twitch or over on YouTube. Always supports me to check me out. If you're joining me live, I do some video games, various gaming friends, myself. I do a lot of tabletop-related stuff over there, whether it's live plays, recording stuff, all those kind of things. But all the tabletop-related stuff goes over on YouTube. So if you're here for the tabletop stuff, you don't have to catch me live. You can always go over on YouTube, check it out there. Just do remember the support I said at the beginning. Help against that algorithm, like subscribing the bell. Let me know what you think about this nation here, too. And, you know, would you want to see a Southern Garund book for all the nations and areas about? I certainly would. There's continents I would love to know more about. And I'm just, you know, curious as to when there's an exploration of them in, by Paizo. We already got TNZ, and it's a wonderful book with great nations and a lot of information. So I would love, like, a Garund book or something. Southern Garund. I don't know. Just saying. Check out my social media. Discord, Blue Sky, X/Twitter. Also linked below. Check me out live for Live Play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. That's Fall of Avonswell, Wednesdays at 8. And of course, on Saturdays at 6 is Discussing Tabletop, my talk show / podcast kind of thing, where we talk about news of the week and deep discussion topics, big topics on the tabletop world to maybe help you out, give you some advice and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going to get going. Go on Twitch, do some more recordings. Regardless, until next time we dive into Golarion, another tabletop world, or beyond, I bid all of you out there a deep and farewell.